Emerging adulthood is the stage in development that comes after adolescence and before actual adulthood. It's defined by five key characteristics, which are identity exploration, instability, self focus, a feeling of being in between, and possibilities. Emerging adulthood is considered a new stage because it reflects recent changes in how people transition from adolescence to full adulthood. Several social, economic, and cultural shifts have led to this distinct phase, mainly in weird countries. The acronym, excuse me, the acronym WEIRD stands for Western, Educated, Industrialized, Rich, and Democratic. So, emerging adulthood does mainly happen in these weird countries. In weird countries, young people often have more opportunities to delay traditional adult milestones like marriage, having children, or working full time and focus on education or personal growth. Emerging adulthood is more common in these societies because they generally have stable economies, access to higher education, and cultural support for this delayed adulthood. So, this is a privileged stage of development because where you are and what you have determines if you'll even experience this stage in your development. Affluence is really important, so having more money or resources plays a huge role. People from wealthier backgrounds are often able to afford college, take time to figure out their careers, or even live with their parents longer without financial pressure. If you're affluent, it's easier to take your time during emerging adulthood, explore different jobs, or pursue advanced education. This wasn't as common for past generations who often had to start working right after high school to support themselves or their family. So, yeah, like just with all the reading, like the word privilege just goes off in my head. Like this just, it really is, it really seems to be just a very privileged stage in development. Um, So, in the article from novaproject.com that was given to us on the discussion board, it stated it seems likely that if young people make crucial decisions about love and work in their late 20s or early 30s, rather than their late teens and early 20s, their judgment will be more mature and they will have a better chance of making choices that will work out well for them in the long run. So, I do agree with that, but I kind of wanted to use that to reflect on my own experience with emerging adulthood. So, the opportunity for further identity exploration out of adolescence and into early adulthood for me has definitely been the biggest benefit of this time period. Um, However, the leniency and privilege to spend so much time exploring myself and potential pathways for my life has left me feeling like I may be running short on time to accomplish some of the things that I'm now sure I would like to do. It kind of just feels like a double edged sword, honestly. It's nice to be sure of myself, but I guess like the question is now are my options on what to do with that certainty limited? Um, if I had to get really personal and just right off the top of my head, I decided not that long ago, a couple years ago, that I would like to have biological children. And my long term relationship that I was in, it didn't work out how I expected it to. And so, yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to be something that happens to me. And that is difficult to reconcile with. I definitely don't want to settle for somebody just to procreate with them. I would want to make sure it was the right person, at the very least, to procreate with. But, definitely the goal would be the right person to raise a human with. So, yeah, when you spend so much time deciding if you would even like to do something, then you might find yourself in a position where it feels like your time may be running out on that thing. Another um, thing in my life that I would compare in the same way is career options. So I'm approaching 30 and I'm going to nursing school in January, and it took me basically the entire last decade to kind of figure out where I fit in the career world, what I love doing, and I am sure of it now, and that's a great feeling, but I've spent so much time kind of figuring out where I fit in that there's been a lot of time wasted that could have been spent going to school. And basically, I kind of feel like I'm almost settling for my career path. Like, I know that I know I'll love being a nurse. I know I'll be great at it. I'll feel very accomplished doing that. But if I had, I'm sure now that I love health science and I would have loved to have done more with that passion. But I'm reaching an age where my independence is becoming increasingly more important. I kind of essentially have to compromise and settle on being a nurse when maybe I would have loved to have been a doctor or a pharmacologist, something that's a little more mentally stimulating for me. But I really need to figure out what I can do to get that financial independence and be on my own and kind of enter that true adulthood stage, because it's kind of now or never, it feels like. And that's not to say that I couldn't go back and do more, but it's really essential, it feels like, right now to get my career going. So, with having all this time to explore, maybe it's almost too much time to explore, if that makes sense. So, all of this to say, delayed adulthood offers opportunities for growth and preparation, but it can also create a lot of extended dependency and a lot of uncertainty, honestly. I'm not sure if it's really a good or a bad thing to have this time in your life. I think it's more neutral, and like many things, it kind of just depends on how you look at it. So, thank you.